in credit and collections, these conversations are incredibly difficult. A simple phrase like, can I move the next payment to the last Friday of the month? Well, that means I have to understand what is the last Friday of the month. Indeed, what is today? How many days are there from here to that Friday end of the month? What is the amount of that next payment? There's actually a whole range of data involved in that one simple sentence. Semantically, sentences can also be ambiguous. A person reading this, I'd love to pay, but I don't think I can, will immediately understand that this person is unlikely to be able to pay. But again, you might be reading it as, I'd love to pay, because it's a very strong positive sentiment. So there is some complexity in how we handle sentences. And in the, as they might say, the pre-days, I'm off my holiday and money is tight, might indicate I'm just back from my summer holidays. I've had a great time. Money's a little short, nothing to worry about. But these days, it's probably something more to do with a payment holiday, something that's probably a little bit more structural, and money's going to be tight for a little bit longer. So that's a different context. So we believe that the collections conversations in particular, and conversations around money, need to be modeled very closely. And in relation then to propensity, in these numbers here, we come up with a score. So with this red number 0.35, the red is indicating we're not very confident that this conversation is about payments, and it's a pretty low score on it. Whereas with the green number, green indicates we have a high confidence that this is a payments-based conversation or in relation to payments, and that high score indicates probably a high propensity to pay.
How the propensity studio works within a conversation and guides an agent. So let's first look at a very simple conversation. So initially, normally a message will have gone out to a client, and this one here simply saying, look, you've missed your last 4 payments, could you cover these today? The client then responds, and it's the way they respond that is important, of how you react as an agent or as an automated process. Now this customer here, should I say, has come back and said, look, my partner's having tests, but I think 4 is possible. There's a real mixture there. What are those tests? Are they educational tests? Are they sort of health check tests? And I'm thinking 4 is possible, which is I probably could pay for. So what does the agent see? Generally, the agent's going to see to the level they've been trained, and also they're going to see what they generally want to see, their perspective on things. But the perspectives are often very different. So the agent is thinking, in this case, well, actually, looks like I'll get all 4 paid, so I'll send them down the process of getting paid. But the actual customer is thinking, I can't afford more than 3. And as we all know, at that point, generally there's going to be no payment at all. So where does propensity come in to really help drive that and make that a better experience for everybody? Well, basically what will happen is that conversation will come in, and every utterance from the customer will be analysed, and a number of things are being checked. So you're looking really at the words that are used, the arrangements of those words, i.e. the syntax of those words, then the semantics of that. So what sort of subtle shades of the meaning would vary based on the order, and again, the sort of tonal change, again, how that may have changed from the last time they responded to you, or the sentence before even. What triggers do you already have? What things do you know you need to look for in your business for the outcome that you're looking for? Even if it's an upsell opportunity, this one here is for collections, but upsell opportunity, there are certain words people will say that give buying signals. Again, are you looking for those? And you'll put those in there. What the studio does is brings all of that together. So it'll bring all those across and use them and mix them with the analysis engine. So there's a big network in there of AI and machine learning that breaks all of that down and then will guide the answers of the propensities you are looking for. This is why it's a studio. You can control these. You can create the ones that you're looking for. In this example, I'm looking for vulnerability of the customer. I'm looking for the ability to actually make a payment. I'm looking for the actual options that they're going to default on the payment. So they're the 3 main indicators that are going to tell me how to move a conversation. So now that conversation will look very slightly different. So the agent again has gone out with the same message. You've missed your 4 payments, can you pay them? The customer has said the same thing. But now the propensity engine is starting to guide that conversation, and it's telling that agent that actually there's a sort of a low probability of payment here. but the vulnerability level is also looking fairly high. And it'll use all of the learnings and machine side in there and the AI to guide that and the training that you're giving it with your historic conversations. And then, of course, the agent then responds accordingly. So in this case, is actually, we need to work out a plan with you that suits your current situation. Rather than just getting something that's a promise that never sticks, let's do something that happens. But also at that point, the customer is happy. Something that suits them, that suits the business, improves the whole process for everybody. And that's pretty much Propensity Studio in a nutshell. Very simplistic overview, but that gives an idea of really what is happening in the background and how it changes conversations.
Great, thank you, Graham. So one of the things I love about Graham's bit is that it takes something really complex and then it makes it quite simple, or sound quite simple. So hopefully that's helped a few you out in the call. So I know some of you on the call will have already seen Webio and seen the application, but for those of you that haven't, this is what it looks like. So over here on the left-hand side, we have a navigation pane. So this is how you get your way around the system. And so you can see over here, we've got dashboards and reports, so you can go in and see what's happening. We've got the queues and the conversations, so you can decide how conversations are managed and by which agents. We've got the campaigns, so how you trigger out those messages and how you build your campaigns and slow them up, speed them down and things. How you build your bots against your business processes. And then the admin side of things, so setting up agents, users and organisations. So where we are over here now in the campaign screen, as you can see, some are green, some are blue. So the green ones are already in progress or being completed. The blue ones are waiting for data. But we are here to talk about propensity today. So what I'm just going to show you quickly here now is how easy it is to actually start off a propensity model on your campaign. So you just simply come into one of your campaigns, determine which model you want it to be, and click update. What will happen then is the next conversation that comes through will start to be assessed by the propensity model that you've selected. So over here in the conversation screen, true Blue Peter style, there's a few that we created earlier for you. But you can see over here, these are conversations that are being assessed by the propensity engine. So this one, it's got a strong degree of confidence and it's assessed it was a greeting. Here we've got a conversation that I've had. And it's starting off there that the first message goes out to the customer, just really trying to get them to engage and to respond. And then when they respond, it's noticed, okay, that's an affirmation, but I'm not that sure, so it's got a little red indicator. But if we see another message coming now, something that the propensity engine is a little bit clearer on, so we're just sending a message that will say something like, I can't pay. And we'll see that come in. And once that does come in, you see it's been assessed by the propensity engine and it's tagged that as a PTMP, so a propensity to not pay. And at this point, really, it's down to your business processes. But an agent would typically send a response back, and maybe at this point they say, okay, we're just going to have to ask a little bit more about why you can't pay. So that message has gone out to the customer, and we'll see now, hopefully the customer at this point, they'd receive the message, and then they would start to reply. So we'll see in a second response will come in. And that response is going to have a little bit more information in it. And this time now, we can see that the studio has said, okay, so this time I'm starting to notice propensity to vulnerability. So what you can do now is the agent could, depending on your business processes, either send a different message or do whatever really you need to do, pass that to a different queue, move around, whatever's required. So what we have here now in the propensity studio is those labels and how they're defined. So we can see here now we've got a few labels down there. Now these are configurable, so you can change these as you need to. And we've also got there just if you want to see some sample propensities and how they're tagged. You can see these here too. So these are, as I was saying, these are configurable, so you can train it. What you'll see here eventually is that This is where you can also have different reporting. You can come in and train it. If we just click back now into the conversations, you'll be able to see those tags against it. So propensity is really something I'm very, very excited about, and would love to speak to you more about it at some point.
In today's mobile world, customers no longer hope to engage with their brands using mobile messaging apps. They now expect it. The problem is, most businesses are struggling to keep up with these new customer demands and with the rate of change in global messaging. Since 2012, for every one SMS sent, there was one message sent through messaging apps like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. Today, there are already 18 of these messages sent for every SMS, and it's still growing. Now businesses are realizing that they have to adapt immediately and engage in the channels customers use every day or be left behind. More customer channels means more noise, more contact, and more business challenges. How can today's business embrace these messaging apps and the increased messaging volumes they bring, and also prepare for voice engagement through Alexa and Google Home? That's where Webio, the conversational middleware company, comes in. Webio uses the power of artificial intelligence to streamline inbound and outbound customer communications across all channels, seamlessly guiding back and forth customer conversations flows instantly, pulling information from internal and external data systems to intelligently receive, predict, respond, and complete customer conversations no matter which channel customers use. Webio's AI agent helps you to manage all inbound contacts simultaneously in any channel, predict the likely outcomes of each customer conversation as they happen, and understand, route, and guide conversations to successful completion using Webio's propensity indicator. Have higher value conversations. Webio AI agent knows when to engage a live agent, but only when needed, so your agents spend their time more productively. Create deeply personalized messages using natural language that can contain unlimited customized customer content. Learn with every interaction using keywords and sentiment analysis. Conversations are handled in a human-like fashion, so much so the customer won't even know. With Webio OneView, there are no more silos. Customer conversations are captured in one place. You'll have a single view of all customer contact and a complete history of all customer interactions across all channels and departments. Organize customer contact campaigns and understand the tempo and sentiment of each customer conversation, and see live AI and real-time agent responses all in one place. And all this can be done with existing investments you've already made in the contact center. Sounds easy, right? It is. Don't be fazed by this new world of customer engagement. Contact Webio today.